Hey everybody, it's Kody with Max Training here from my basement. Little change of pace. We got kind of a weird angle today. I'm trying to shoot it from the top to maybe see a little bit better. If you could see how I have this propped up, it would be pretty embarrassing. So we're gonna do a little bit of hip mobility today. And this is for everybody. It's great for the everyday person. It's great for athletes. It's great for kids. Absolutely everybody can benefit from hip mobility. I stress it so much in my athletes as well as everybody else. Um, we look at like the force production through our hips. Our hips kind of hold us back if they're tight. We're sitting in that anterior tilt. We live in a society that you're constantly stuck in sitting position where you're driving, you're sitting at work, you're sleeping in bed, whatever it might be. We're always stuck in that position, so that those hip flexors are constantly compressed. What we want to do today is kind of loosen them up, as well as strengthen them as well. So problems that can be caused by tight hips can be, I mean, obviously the biggest one is lower back pain. I would probably say 90% of the issues in this country with everybody with lower back pain is probably caused by a tight hip flexor. I could be very wrong on that number. I just pulled it out of nowhere. However, that's very important. You could even go all the way down to knee pain as well. So we're going to start today with a little bit of stretching. Pretty simple stuff that everybody should be able to do. Some of the positions are going to be tough to get into. We're going to hold each of them for about 30 seconds. I don't have a watch here, or a clock, or anything like that. But we're going to run through those, and then as we progress, things are going to get a little more advanced, and then we'll kind of get in a little bit of strengthening as well. So to get started, we're going to do just a little kneeling stretch. I'm going to try to face sideways so you can kind of see what I'm doing the whole time, and when I switch to the other side, I'll try to face forward so you guys can see that as well. So, starting down here, we're going to start with just a normal kneeling stretch. So one knee's on the ground, other leg's forward. I'm going to face this way. I want everything in my body square to that wall that I'm squared to. So shoulders, hips, toes, knees, everything is facing this way. Now, commonly when people do this stretch, they want to lean in as much as they want to here. And yeah, we're going to get a little bit of that hip flexion stretch, but I like to get a little bit more, and I like to work those glutes at the same time. So what I want you to do is fire this glute and lift those hips as high as you can, like you're bringing your hips into the back of this knee. So I'm lifting from here and pushing from here. And I never want to get comfortable. I never want to get to a point where I'm like, I feel it there, I'll wait there. I want to constantly be pushing and pushing and pushing the whole time. So like I said, we'll hold this for about 30 seconds. If you want to advance and get a little bit harder, take those arms, lift them up over your head. It'll open that body up a little bit. So big stretch. Try not to lean or tilt or anything like that, and definitely don't tilt forward at all. Never get comfortable. Always pushing through that glute. So keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. Big push. We should be feeling right here. If we're not, try to adjust, reset, try it again. Always pushing. Remember, I'm lifting the bottom of this hip up as high as possible. Relax. I'm going to come right to the other side. I'm going to do this one straight on. So I'm squared to the camera right now. I'm not leaning in at all. I'm lifting those hips as high as I can. So I'm pushing through this way. Same thing. Arms up. If you want even more of a stretch, think to reach over the top of this leg, rotate those shoulders, but we're still pushing. We're constantly pushing the whole time. Big, big stretch. That glute should be actually getting a little bit tired. Always driving. Pushing, 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 pushing. Never let that glute rest until right now. So let that relax. This first one I'm going to do straight on, and then I'll turn sideways. So we're going to do just a common pigeon stretch. A lot of people have done this one before. It's a tough position to get into. What we want to do is have this front leg squared straight towards the direction we want to stretch. Okay? What I like to do is take my opposite hand and anchor that foot down. And as I come up, I want to take this leg, bring it back. So now I'm squared, and now I'm pushing my hips into about where my heel's at. But if you can see, I still have a straight line here, and I'm not leaning over this direction. Everything's going here. We should primarily feel this in the outside of that hip. If you're not, we might be sitting a little too far off this way. So try to think that right hip is sitting right on top of that heel. If you need to, we can start here and slowly push your way in, lifting that knee off the ground, and then build your way into this stretch. Drive those hips in. Get a good stretch. We should feel it outside that hip. Keep breathing as always. And relax, easy out of that position. We're going to do that opposite leg now. I'm going to face this other direction so you guys can see from the side. So remember, I start I'm going to square to my wall here. I want to keep this leg locked, anchor that down with that opposite hand, weigh it down. I like to bring this hand out in front to kind of stabilize that knee too. Adjust this knee over here. Remember, we're not outside over the top of that knee. That left hip should be right over the top of your foot now. We're pushing down into into that heel. Remember, if it's too tough, start up like this, slowly build your way down into it. Let's hold this one for quite a while. I don't know about you guys, but sitting around in the house, chasing a kid, sitting on the floor, my hips are super, super tight. All of you that have been grinding out workouts on here at daily, I'm sure you need this as well. So next one we're going to go into is just going to be from a kneeling position. So we're going to start kneeling. I'm going to start forward. I'll shift sideways as soon as we start. So I want to go, knees are pretty wide, legs are going to go straight back just like this. I want to always concentrate on my posture. So my chest is up, my lower back is rounded here. I'm never arched through this way, okay? So hands are going to go on the ground just like this. And all I'm doing is pushing those heels, my hips into my heels. So sitting just like this. My chest is high, my shoulders are always higher than my hips. So from the side, I'm here, my shoulders are higher than my hips, my lower back is always rounded through. I never want to relax it and round it this way, and I'm pushing back into those heels. Get a big stretch. We should feel it right underneath and through that groin as well. This is a good stretch for that psoas, which is that hip flexor that goes from that insertion point all the way to your spine. It's a tough one to stretch, and it usually causes a lot of problems. Keep holding, keep holding. From this position, what I want you guys to do is relax a little bit. Keep those legs right where they're at. When you drop those elbows, still concentrate on that back. And now tuck those toes in towards each other. Now push into that same spot. All we're doing is hitting that psoas at a little different angle right now. Back is still flat. Shoulders might be a little higher than those hips yet. And remember, we're not getting comfortable. We're not going, hey, I feel it right here. We're constantly putting pressure, constantly pushing. If you cramp, that's okay. That's a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's a common thing. Hold this just a little bit longer. And relax. From here, what I want to do is take my hands. I'm going to put them really, really tight towards my legs. And now I'm pushing those heels down, or my hips into my heels. I'm going to say that a million times now. So I'm pushing straight down. I'm hitting that muscle at the last angle that we're going to do for it. So big push, big push, big push. Remember, don't get comfortable. Toes are still pointed in towards each other. Posture still looks good. I'm still square to the wall in front of me. All right. Relax those legs. Standing up, you should feel a little bit loose already. Try to take a little bit of a walk. You might notice your stride length is a little bit longer. Should be pretty comfortable. So from here, we're going to go to what I call is the 90-90-90 position. So we're going to have 90 degrees on our knees, both of our knees, as well as the angle from our foot and our knee. So I'm going to get in this position. I'm going to show you a couple alterations that we can do to try to get into this position. It is a tough one to get into, but I think you guys can do it. So sitting just like we were in that pigeon stretch, how I got one leg squared to the direction I want to face. I have 90 degrees in this knee. I'm looking for about 90 in this knee. It's going to be a little bit more than that, or a little less than that. Then I'm looking at about 90 degrees from this angle to this angle. So now from here, I want to stay as upright as I possibly can. You should feel a little bit of impingement right here. That's a normal thing. If you can't quite get in this position, start with your hands behind you. Let that body open up a little bit. And as we get comfortable, we can lean in and lean in and lean in, okay? But what I don't want to see is us leaning in, sitting like this. So try to think that posture sits good the whole time. It's the most important part. Now we're trying to get into an uncomfortable position. That's the goal of this whole thing. I feel comfortable on this side sitting straight up and down. So I'm going to go hand on my ankle, hand on my knee. I'm still looking to stay square. I'm looking to keep all these 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the ground. And then I'm going to take just this one and lift it up as high as I can without bending in that back or leaning over. So as tall as I can, we're going to go 8 each side. So 8 on this side. We'll hit the other side. We'll do that 3 times. So from here, lift up as high as you can. Feel that big pull and back down. Don't let your body cater to it. We want to fight it. I don't want to see anybody leaning back like this or leaning their shoulders over. Here's 3, 4. This isn't fast, it's nice and slow. The whole time I'm pushing this hip straight down. Call that 5, 6, there's 7, last one here, up, nice and easy down. Okay, we'll rotate to the other side. So as you can see, I'm a little bit tighter on this side. So I'm going to put one hand on the ground, one hand right here still. I'm still looking at 90, about 90, and 90. So that heel and knee are pretty close to each other. I'm still thinking good posture, and I'm pushing this hip down as I lift this point up. So from here, I lift. You can notice my range of motion is significantly different. 2, going for 8. 5, we're over halfway. Think good posture. And 8, easy down. Feel free to get up, move around if you need to. I'm going to roll right into the next one just to make this video a little bit shorter. So we're going to go here, same position, 90, 90, 90. Now we're looking to lift that knee as high as you can. Good posture the whole time. Halfway. Seven and 8. Relax. Shift to the other side. And give myself a little bit more upright this time. Already getting looser. Still 90, 90, 90. Open that knee up. It's normal to cramp here. That's okay. Like I said, go at your pace. I wouldn't go any faster than me. It's demoralizing for me, as well as you're probably not getting a lot out of it. 2 more. Last one. And 8. We have 1 more set. Let me get a quick drink of water. All right, last one. Then we'll stand up, move those legs a little bit, and we'll get right back down here. So, good posture again. Lift that knee as high as you can. There's halfway. Remember, never get comfortable in these positions. It should always be difficult. We should always be pushing, kind of fighting against ourselves. Let's get 1 more here. And down. Rotate those legs over. Feeling pretty loose now, nice and upright. Lift that knee as high as you can. Try to fight that body lean. You see mine's leaning a little bit. There's 5. Last one here is 8. All right, get yourself up. Move around a little bit. Like I said, we should feel a little bit longer stride length. Should feel just looser in general. So we just did some knee lifts. We're going to move into some ankle lifts. Okay, I'm going to show you the hard version first, and then we're going to progress into the easier version, which is what I'm going to do because I'm pretty tight right now. So we're going to get back in that same exact position, and we won't need to start now. I'm just going to explain it. So sitting in that 90, 90, 90 position, we're staying as upright as we can. We have our 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, knees and ankles. We're looking to take this back ankle and lift it as high as you can. So from here, lift. Come right back down. You can see my body wants to lean and fight it. This one you will definitely cramp on, okay? We're gonna go for 8 each side, a little alteration. Let's get back in that same position where we were getting that stretch on. Without pushing back, I want you to take your ankle and rotate it out. You should feel that internal external rotation of that hip inside of here. We're still looking good posture. Lower back is set, chest is set. 8 each side, let's get started. Here's 2. Make it a little harder, push back a little bit more. It's not a ton of range of motion. I'm probably lifting my foot, maybe a foot off the ground. And 8. I'll turn to the side for this leg. So I'm still thinking good posture. Open that knee up, or open that ankle up. 5. The last one here is 8. All right, I'm gonna try that advanced version. Feel free to join me. Feel free to go back to what we were just doing. Doesn't matter as long as we're feeling that stretch. It's the most important part. Don't feel like we need to advance faster than we need to, as I'm about to. Don't feel like you need to. Just go at your own pace. Move when you're comfortable. This video is going to be saved and posted up forever. So feel free to take this, use this whenever you need to, and slowly progress yourselves into these positions. So think, ankles lifting, all my points are down. If you're doing this position, you'll notice range of motion is very small. I think I'm getting maybe 3 inches off the ground. Last one, 8. Whew. Relax those hips. Might be starting to sweat a little bit now. I'm going to turn open just a little bit, just so I can open that heel up and lift. It's okay to lean a little bit on this one. That's fine as long as I'm keeping that posture correct. And 8. Relax. I'm going to do that same one, facing from the side. Last set here, and we are done with these. So here, open up and back down. It's halfway. 7 and 8. I think those last two barely got off the ground. Do the same thing facing this way so you can see how bad this side is. Take good posture. I'm going to lean in a little bit but still maintain my posture. Lift that heel. Last one for me. And 8. Get yourself up. Stand up tall, like I said. Take a little walk, move those hips around. Hey, yeah, Barkley is grinding back there. So make sure your hips are stretching out. You're feeling good. Get some water. We're going to move into some more of the advanced stuff. We got about 3 or 4 things left. A lot of them are going to come from that 90-90-90 position. So get yourself comfortable in that. If you got to pause this video, take a little bit longer, stretch out, go through those stretches that we just did at the beginning again. That's completely fine. And we're going to roll right into these next ones. The next ones I call Ric Flairs. They're figure 4s, so you're going to get your legs in a position like you made a big 4. So from here, I have a big 4 here, open up this way. So my knee is sitting on top of my ankle. Hands are going to sit up in front of me. I'm going to think good posture. My first movement is always to lift this leg up. When I lift this leg up, I'm engaging that hip flexor. It's pretty isolated, so I should feel a big pinch there. So once I lift up, now try to avoid leaning. You're going to lean a little bit. Open that knee all the way up. We're going to try to put it right back in that 90-90-90 position. Now from here, it's really easy to take your leg and swing it back this way. I want you to always concentrate. The first thing is always a lift. So we'll lift up, open all the way around, keep that heel off the ground, set it back down. We're going to go for 8 each side. I'm counting that one. So here, up, open all the way through, ankle stays high, set everything down. Rotate all the way through, and down. There's 2. Heel is always off the ground. There's 4. 5. 3 more. Last one. And 8. Feel free to get up, move around again. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. As I told you before, this is my tight hip. So you'll see me leaning a little bit. I'm always going to try to maintain that posture as best as I can. Remember, it's me versus me, not me versus you. Okay? Lift up, open up, put it all the way back. First movement's a lift, swing it all the way out and around. As you can see, I lean quite a bit on this side, and that's okay. Two more. Last one here. Lift up, rotate open, set it down, up, and back. Get up, move those legs a little bit. Good news, we only got 2 sets of those, so we'll blast through those one more time. And then one of the next thing, I think I got 2 things. I might add a little extra thing at the end too, just to help us stretch out. So when you're ready, I'm gonna go back to my right leg here. Take a little bit longer if you need to. If you need to go back to some of those stretches we did before, get them good and stretched out, feel good, get good results. So open up here, maybe I'll turn sideways for this one. So posture's up as best as I can. Lift and rotate through. Right here. Up, rotate through. My knee is sitting right on top of that ankle. You can see my dog in his natural habitat. He works pretty hard. Sleeps about 22 hours a day. I'm a super good counter, and that puts me at 5. One more. 8. Nice job. Try to get in a good position here. You're sitting right here. So 8 on this side here. Lift, open up, set it down. Try and let that heel hit until we get all the way back over. There's 3. I got 2 more here. Lift, open up, that knee and that ankle hit at the same time. Last one. Nice work. Like I said, we got 2 things left. I'm going to add that extra thing for us too, so we'll do 3 more things. Next thing we're going to move into is just hip rotations. So we'll be in that 90-90-90 position. We're going to leave those heels dug in the whole time. They'll never move. We're going to rotate to the other side, rise up, stretch those hips. We're only going to do 5 each side, but we'll go through this 3 times. So I'm going to square off this way. If my heels are, or my ankles are off this way, that means my knees are going to rotate that direction. So give yourself space. You're not going to run into anything. It's normal to slowly travel forward as we do this. That's completely fine. Feel free to adjust if you don't have as much space. So heels are dug in. I'm trying to lean in as much as I can. I don't want to cater to it lean back here. But like I said, if we're tight, keep that posture, but hands can go behind you as we rotate over. So, dug those heels in, rotating all the way over. Those knees hit. I want to pause, drive those hips through. I'm square over the top of that leg, just like I was in that pigeon stretch. And I'm pushing those hips forward, getting that big stretch through here. This glute is activated. I'm going to come back down. I want to pause. I don't want to use this momentum to send me back over to the other side. Pause. Heels are dug in. Rotate all the way over. Pause. Rise up. Drive those hips forward. Make sure we're not driving facing this direction. I'm looking straight ahead. This knee is pointed straight horizontal to my body. So here, down, pause, back over. The slower the better. Going for 5 each side, so if you just count to 10 total. I'm working my way off camera already. Nice and easy, work your way back. Then good posture. Rise up, squeeze those glutes. One more each side. Nice and easy over. We'll finish with one more lift. Rise up, push through, easy back down. Like I always say, get up, move around, feel what this is doing for you. Take a little breather. We had 2 more sets of that. So if you need more time, feel free to hit that pause button. I'm going to keep cruising. My family's on their way back from Milwaukee pretty soon. We're going to sit nice and upright. Open those knees all the way up. Drive through, big pause. Easy down, pause. Make sure we're taking those big pauses. Don't let momentum carry you around. I'm going to slide back. I got 2 more. Open up. Drop that knee down. Rise up. This is just putting together all those movements we were doing earlier. Drive. One more each side. Rise up. Easy back down. Go ahead and lift your body up. So, we have one more set of those. My hips feel very, very good. I gotta shut this fireplace off. Trying to get a little steamy in here. We got one more set of those. We'll move into a pretty advanced one, so if we need to skip that one back at home, that's completely fine. And then we're gonna move into a little bit of a deep stretch that we'll kind of hold for a little while. And that'll close us up today. So, one more set of these hip rotations. Hips should be feeling great. We'll try to stay in camera this time. Remember, feet and heels are always dug in, so we never lose any sort of space in the ground with these. So, lift up, leaning in, rotate over, and rise up. Remember your pauses. little bit. 2 more each side. Last ones here, nice and smooth. Rise up, big pause, back down. Get a good break. Next one we're going to move into is going to be pigeon sprint is what I call it. We're going to start in that pigeon stretch, but it rolls up a little bit. We're going to drive through just like we're sprinting. Get a big stretch through that outside of your hip. So, sitting down just like this. This one's pretty advanced. Lift your body up. It's okay to let this ankle slip down just a little bit. Now from this position, I want you to rise through and drive that leg all the way through. And I'll come all the way back in that same spot. We're going to go for just 5 each side of these ones. Open back out. Drive through, get a deep stretch. I'm pushing that hip right into my heel. Drive all the way through. Big stretch forward. Big stretch back. I'll call that 2. There's 4. Last one here. And 5. Relax. There's a bad leg. This one's going to be pretty terrible. So I'm trying to pull this heel up as high as I can, but I'm not anchoring it like I was before. And if it slips, it slips. It's not a huge deal. It's not what I'm super worried about. I'm more worried about this big drive up here. Straighten that leg out. Should be feeling most of that work done right here. Like I said, not only stretching, but strengthening as well. There's 4. And 5. All right, I'll try to do this next set sideways. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Maybe I'll start from here. Advance forward if I got space. So like I said, we got 3 sets, so 2 more sets of this one. And then we'll move on to our very, very last thing. Lift that body up to here. From here, rise through. Ooh, almost fell on that one. And 5. And 5. There we go. Switch to the other side. Try to get comfortable here. So, knees on the ground, opening up, pushing forward. That right hip right now, that's one on the outside, should be pretty exhausted. There's 5 and 5. All right, rest up, move around a little bit, try not to stay in that position. Let's move around to that last set. And then we'll close it up with a little fun one. So, I'm gonna square up again. Ankles back, rising up, both my knee and my feet are still on the ground. Hands are out in front of me. Step all the way through. My left hip is getting the work done. There's 5 and 5. Like I said before, if this one's a little too advanced, go back to those starting ones. Get through those a couple more times. Take it a couple more days and advance into this. Drive that knee through. Big stretch. Big stretch on the way back. There's 4, 5, and 5. Nice job. We are done with those. We're gonna finish with just a deep sumo squat hold. I don't have a timer here, but we're gonna try to go for about 30 seconds or so. Feel free to increase that number, increase the amount of times you do this. The big thing that we're looking for is maintaining your posture, so that upper and lower back. I'll face sideways for the majority of the time so you guys can see. We're looking to get in a deep squat to stretch that psoas, okay? So, we're gonna start the sumo squat. I don't wanna be a wide sumo squat. My normal squat base is here. I'm turning those toes open and open up a little bit. I've talked to a lot of my athletes about gripping the ground. Gripping the ground essentially is just taking your big toe, digging it in, and lifting those arches while maintaining that outside your foot on the floor still. So, grip that ground, lift those arches out, leave that big toe in the ground, upper and lower back around and through. I'm looking to push those knees open and get as deep as I can without starting to get that hip wink, okay? So, back is round and through. We're gonna hold just like this. If you need to get those elbows in and push those knees open, that's okay. Let's just stay away from going up on top. So hold for about 30 seconds. I'm gonna count in my head. 10 seconds for me. There's 20. Think about that floor, how your foot is contacting with the floor. That's 30 seconds. Now slowly rise up. Push those hips through. You guys are done. So I got some surprise sweat right now. So that's good. You guys are done. Feel free to cool down doing those same stretches that we started off with. Like I said, this is beneficial for absolutely everybody. Whether you're an athlete, you consider yourself an athlete, you try to be an athlete like me, or if you're just an everyday person. If you're a kid, you're growing, this is good for absolutely everybody. The more we do this, the more we're going to feel better. I think that goes with just about anything when it comes to exercise. So, give me a shout out in the comment section. Let me know if you could do all this stuff. If this is a little too advanced, if this is a little too slow, if you want to see a part 2. Anything in there. So feel free to let me know. Not sure what the plan is of next week, but we'll be making sure we get you guys videos at least every single day. So thank you guys for tuning in, and go join yoga at 7:30 tonight with Bridget. Thank you guys.